Presented by Horns and Hooves Entertainment. You're watching Bob Hansen, Tom Uchek, Sean O'Malley, Adam Fitzgerald, and Andy Van Meer. You still up? Live. It's Buffalo After Dark.
Boo! Fuck you!
The booing is okay. You're hockey ready.
The booing is okay.
Why are they booing him?
Oh, he's got a notorious habit of getting booed for his bullshit calls. 3 lockouts, fucking the Sabres over, and numerous various fuck-ups throughout his career. He gets booed all the time. He gets booed every time a winner gets presented in the Stanley Cup. He gets booed at the NHL draft. He gets booed in everything. And he's like, you know what? Go ahead. Just boo. I don't care.
Ouch.
All right, guys. Welcome to Buffalo After Dark. It is expansion draft day. And finally it's here. So July 21st, of course, all 3 of us, we got Bobby here. Sean, you're in your first expansion draft. So how does it feel to know that your team is now officially going to be a team?
It's about time. Got my jersey on, just put on my flag there. I'm ready to go.
Awesome.
Yep.
Good stuff. And then for anyone who's watching here on the Facebook live stream, of course, you guys are welcome to jump on. You can dial our usual number, 929-205-6099. And, of course, meeting ID and passcode are all in the chat. So, of course, right now, we're going to stick with you throughout the entire draft tonight. We're going to give you some insight. And we're also going to talk to you a little bit about some of our picks that we thought of also. And then, we'll just kind of talk a little bit about everything. This show's dedicated strictly to the draft today.
It looks like he just froze.
Yeah, he'll be okay, guys. We're right here. But in the meantime, while he's doing his thing, Gary Bettman is getting booed. So we're just introducing Sean to the whole why is he getting booed thing.
Yep. It's NHL tradition. Everyone hates Bettman.
Oh, he also has a habit of not shutting the fuck up. I just want to admit that now.
Exactly. All
right.
So what we're going to do, of course, we'll talk to you about the picks that we had in our original special that we had a while back. And then we'll also go through and tell you, obviously, what the real picks are once we've got that all squared away. So just to kind of give you guys an idea of what we originally had, I'm going to bring up the list here, and then we'll go ahead and, we'll do it up. All right. So for those who remember, this is what we.
Yeah, Sean, you're alive, right?
Yeah, we're alive. Yeah.
All right.
So of course, here's the list.
Yeah. So guys, we apologize in advance because Tom's Wi-Fi is utter crap at the moment. So we apologize in advance. So as you can see from a few weeks ago, we did the expansion draft with me and the boys. Me, Tom, Adam, Sean, and Andy. The 5 of us had 6 teams each, and we projected all of these players. So we'll see if any of them are correct throughout the entire draft. So we are going into this not knowing anybody who's being drafted. We know nothing at this point.
Yep, and then as we go throughout too, we'll compare how the final results are, and we'll see how everything turns out.
Your Seattle Kraken.
Let's get cracking.
Nice.
I love it.
Nice.
All right. The expansion draft requirements must select 1 player from each team except Vegas and must select at least 14 forwards, 9 defensemen, and 3 goalies, and the other 4 could be at any other position. Are we good from there? Good. Let's do it. We shall find out who the Kraken take. Also, I love that little animation going on with the logo, with the little shine bright and whatever. I love that.
It's my pleasure to introduce.
Yeah, Tom, is your Wi-Fi okay today?
My internet connection right now is absolutely brutal because what's happening is that I have the TV app going on right now, and right now the TV app itself, it keeps buffering, so I don't know what's going on with it.
Your internet is what, Tom? Because Sean and I are alive.
Yeah, now I saw you guys just come back. It's weird because it's like
So again, for those watching, we apologize in advance of Tom's connection. But in general, we should get a general idea who gets taken tonight. So it should be interesting. So Sean, tell the crowd how you feel about this. Are you excited? Are you confident? How do you think the Kraken are going to do? Since we know nothing about what's going to happen right now.
I am stoked about the unpredictability, which makes it even better surprises. Because I'm all about the shock value. So definitely cannot wait to see who's coming to Seattle.
Yep. And on top of all that, you can't forget the most important aspect, the side deals, the trades. That's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, side deals are always fun. And we saw that last time.
Any idea who's going to Seattle? Nobody does. I don't even know who got exposed or got taken for that matter. So it's going to be really interesting what happens down the road, for sure.
Yep, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that's another NHL goalie. That was great. Kevin Weeks back in the day. Played for a lot of good teams. Played for the Rangers. Played for the Hurricanes. And, of course, I'm rocking the Bat Blue tonight.
Nice. Yeah, and what I'm going to do is and I'm sorry about, like, how this internet connection is working.
Not Sean. Tom, can you hear us, man?
Yeah, I can definitely hear you guys. So just connection itself's been kind of brutal tonight, so that's why basically I've got the
your Wi-Fi's pretty crap right now.
Yeah, I've got the profile picture on instead right now because of it.
Yeah.
So
Sean, if you can hear me, just wave, man, so I don't lose you either.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, so it's just Tom then. Hopefully he can get back on track pretty soon. I mean, he is the host, so hopefully things go well for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, either way, it's still recording, and we still have everything going live. So even if I have to hide,
oh man, there he is, Sean, your general manager, Ron Francis.
I'm gonna see him in a sec. Looks like you guys are seconds ahead of me.
Yep. One of the all-time greats.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. He was a great player in his heyday too. Won 2 cups from Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Played for Hartford. Of course, he played for the Carolina Hurricanes, and of course, he was the GM for a few years, and now he's the GM of the Seattle Kraken.
Yep. Yeah, definitely.
Well, what's this? Texas, Oklahoma reached out to SEC. What? What, they're trying to join the conference?
Guys. And just keep in mind too, anyone who wants to jump on the show, you're more than welcome to. Just you can either give us a call or jump on the Facebook chat. If you call in, just give us a dial 929-205-6099. That gets you on the air.
Yeah, we heard that. We heard that loud and clear, Tom.
All right, perfect.
Yeah, you can hear us, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you want to turn up your volume a little bit if you can? Because Sean and I have a perfect good condition as we speak right now.
Yep. Is that pretty good, guys?
Oh, here we go. Here's your first pick. All right. So from the Boston Bruins.
Boston? Okay.
Yeah, Boston. It's Jeremy Lauzon. And the original pick was by Andy. He picked Craig Smith. You want to write this down, Sean, so that you have all the players?
No, I'm good. They're gonna post all over the internet anyway, so.
Yeah, that's true.
From there.
Here we go.
Jeremy Lauzon.
Ahead of the Kraken in Friday night's draft. A lot of turmoil there. A lot of new head coaches for the last 5 years, 10 straight years.
All right, they're talking about the Buffalo Sabres.
See what the Sabres can offer here, friends. Rubbing it in there. Yeah, sorry, Sabres fan. Those are facts. To introduce the Sabres pick, please welcome to the stage another absolute Seattle legend, a Hall of Famer as a player and a coach, led the Supersonics to an NBA title, still calls Seattle home, Coach Lenny Wilkins. Lenny.
Lenny Wilkins, huh?
Welcome. Please welcome to the stage. What a scene here. I'm told that along your various stops, coaches become a passionate hockey fan.
See, you got to know about Providence College. All right, Providence College had great hockey teams and still do. And I used to bump with them once in a while.
All right, so what do you think? Jeremy Lauzon to the Seattle Kraken from Boston. What do you think?
Know about building a roster and building chemistry, so let's begin to.
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. Very good start.
Yep. And according to NHL Discussion, they say that Lauzon is a very young defenseman and played fairly well in an elevated role with the Bruins this past year. And we probably would have preferred Connor Clifton with this selection, but Seattle is getting a solid young defenseman with this pick.
Seattle Kraken.
100% agree.
Will Morgan.
All right, there's your next one. Will Borgen from the Buffalo Sabres.
He's only played 14 NHL games.
There it is.
Morgan is a really gifted athlete and a strong skater. One of those guys that's a late bloomer.
That's a bummer. So, Tom, it's now confirmed, man, if you can hear me, is Will Borgen to Seattle is official.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking about that a little bit earlier today because just with some of the stuff that Buffalo's trying to do and knowing that they protected Ristolainen, I mean, it just, to me, that became more of a possibility where they're going to go ahead and send him out. But I mean, honestly, the short time that Borgen was here, though, I liked a lot of what I saw, and especially with the training camp and the rookie camp that was here the last couple seasons. I mean, I really liked what I saw. So, I mean, I think Seattle's going to get a very nice defenseman with a very good upside on him, and he's definitely someone that can grow into a leader on that team.
Yeah. All right, so the next pick is from Detroit, and it looks like from the Aquarium, it's Dennis Cholowski. All right, Dennis Cholowski. All right, I think that's how you pronounce it, Cholowski. All right, so this guy is pretty young, I would assume. Let's see his statistics right here. You know, I'm starting to think. I think they're going by division. Yeah, Dennis Cholowski, 3 years from Langley, British Columbia, 10 goals and 27. Oh, damn it. I didn't have time to read that. Whatever. I love that little boat that they have going on here. All right. Okay, so Borgen from Buffalo and Cholowski from Detroit. You know, I think from Buffalo, you originally said Tage Thompson, Tom. And from Detroit, Sean said Bobby Ryan.
Yep. You'd be correct. I definitely did think Tage Thompson would be the one.
Also, so far 0 for 3, which sucks. But you know what? I'm sure we'll get something right. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh, well. All right, so not a bad start so far, Kraken. Not a bad start.
Yeah, Cholowski, another good defenseman with some upside. So.
It just started. All right. Let's see if when do you think we're gonna get our first trade?
If I had to throw a guess out there, I would say pick number 8.
Who knows?
Excuse me. Yeah, so only 3 teams thus far. So, Tom, what do you think of the picks thus far?
I mean, it honestly, it doesn't surprise me that they went all defense first.
I don't think you can hear me.
No, I can.
All right, Sean, I guess.
Very motivated.
Yeah, you guys.
Wait, what?
All right. Yeah. So what
Was that you, Tom?
Yeah.
No, that was me.
Oh, shoot.
No, I was asking you, can Tom hear us? And it doesn't seem like he can.
Yeah.
Because his Wi-Fi is such crap. Good thing for him that we're actually capable of running this thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
So it's going to have to be up to us because I don't know if Tom told you, but he told me yesterday there was a massive flooding in downtown Buffalo where he was living at. There was a massive flood, and it's fixed, and it's actually fucked up his modem or whatever it is.
Well, I mean, on top of
So
that.
in other words, his Wi-Fi is pretty bad right now.
Yeah. Well, there was also a big fire and a big explosion near here too. So there was a couple bad things that ended up coming up.
Tom, can you hear us now?
Yeah, Tom, can you hear us, man?
Yeah, I can definitely hear you. What I'm gonna try to do is if the sound keeps going off,
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can definitely hear you.
So your Wi-Fi is. So you want to explain to the crowd why your Wi-Fi is this way at the moment?
Yeah, well, I think part of it is the modem just failing altogether. But the other thing also is that that there was actually we got flooded up in the north towns outside of Buffalo yesterday. Actually, it's twice within a week now. And then the other thing that came up is that there was a huge explosion out just outside of Buffalo yesterday, which caused some problems. And then there was also a big warehouse fire outside of Buffalo that caused problems too. So there's definitely been some problems with connections and so forth. But a lot of it actually is just the hardware is starting to fail. So that's one of those deals where I gotta get a replacement modem. Now the actual wireless is good, but the modem sucks. So that's one of those reasons why we're running into that issue.
Right. All right. Next is the Florida Panthers. Let's see who they take from the Florida Panthers. Oh, they're going by division. Okay. That's how they're doing this. Because 4 years ago, they went by standings, but they're doing it by division. So they're starting off with the Atlantic Division.
Yep.
Yeah, this should be no surprise. This is definitely Chris Drieger because it was already said on Monday that he was getting picked.
Definitely.
Yep, there it is. Chris Drieger to the Seattle Kraken from the Florida Panthers. He already signed a contract, so this is the least surprising of it. All right, so we finally got one of our picks, and there he is. There's Chris Drieger in a Kraken jersey.
Yep, first goaltender ever in Seattle history.
By the way, this is the big reveal. This is the brand new Kraken home jersey. How does that feel on, and what do you think of this sitting here, Chris? Yeah, it's a pretty incredible sight. Great to see everyone here.
So there he is.
Yep, there's Chris Drieger.
Wow.
How do you like those jerseys?
Very freaking nice.
And look at you now wearing that jersey.
Exactly.
I have a feeling, depending on the draft, I'm curious if he's going to be the starter.
It very well could be. I mean, it's a possibility there.
I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest with you. Hey, Tom, do you work better with or without the camera?
Well, with the internet with the issue going on altogether, that's why I took myself off the camera so it doesn't keep freezing.
All right, next up in the order, Montreal Canadiens.
All right, here we go. This is it. Do the Montreal Canadiens take Carey Price?
Whoa!
Jesus Christ!
What?
Oh my God! Cale Fleury? Really? Cale Fleury over Carey Price? Holy fucking crap, man! Wow! Jesus Christ! Tom, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't his dad Theo Fleury?
Yeah.
Go figure.
Yeah, he was. I mean, Theo Fleury, I mean, he had a pretty good career, but I totally never saw that one coming.
Wow. And he's only been in it. He's only been in the league for one season, huh?
All right, guys.
And he's already being taken.
I'm gonna fix one thing with my audio. It's just gonna be a moment.
Well, at least the entire city of Montreal doesn't have to go up in flames.
Exactly.
Who's next up?
Salary cap, the age of the player, and this is a long-term thing. Obviously, a lot of moving parts and all that stuff.
All right, next up, the Ottawa Senators.
All right.
Team that's struggling in the division. A very young team. Most of the top talent under 25, so a lot of guys not available to be picks here. And that did not leave a whole lot of choices.
All right, Ottawa. Who are you taking?
Taken from the Senators. Please welcome to the stage the Seattle legend, Grammy Award winner, and a huge sports guy, Matt Lamar. Welcome. This is in some ways a hockey version of Chris Shaw. Very similar. Looking for value here.
Oh, Macklemore. Damn it, I forgot about him. Dude, I totally forgot about Macklemore.
Yeah, I haven't heard that name in a while.
Alright guys, so basically because of the fact that my sound actually figured it out
All right, Joey Decourt. Another goal. Yeah. So, so Joey Decourt.
Finalist for the top goaltender award his senior year at Arizona State, led them to the playoffs
So,
for the first time.
Looks like someone.
Goaltending position.
yeah, so it seems like to me Seattle is taking another goalie. So it's Joey Decourt. Interesting. All right, back-to-back goalies. And here we go.
It looks like someone popped in here too.
Yeah, but I don't know. He's just big. Yeah, wasn't really saying anything, so we decided to just mute him, I guess.
The Seattle Kraken selects Yanni Gord.
Oh my God, Yanni Gord! There's your first big name in the draft. Christ!
What?
Yanni Gord from the Tampa Bay Lightning has been taken by the Kraken. This guy is ridiculous, Sean. You're gonna love that guy.
Oh boy.
Yep, 5'9", 173 pounds. 4 straight seasons with 10+ goals and 30+ seasons, and he's a 2-time Stanley Cup champion. He's bringing a lot of speed, man. He's a guy that gets in your face instantaneously. He works hard, he plays hard, he'll be right in your face, he'll get to the dirty areas.
Hey, 4 straight seasons with 10+ goals, 30+ points.
Yeah, without a doubt. Wait, what did you say? Because I think your mic was a little off at the moment, Sean.
What was it? Oh, I was just looking at the. I was just looking at his stats real quick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Tom, what do you think of Yanni Gord to the Seattle Kraken? I don't think Tom can hear me either.
Yeah, I think he got his mic muted.
Yep. Here we go. Who is Toronto's pick?
How much does this bracket cost? Can't afford it. Sorry. All right, well, with that, the Seattle Kraken select the Toronto Maple Leafs. Crack Jack.
Here we go. Who's the pick?
Forward, Jared McCann.
Ah, Jared McCann. There's another one. That's another one. Okay, here's something really interesting about Jared McCann, by the way, Sean, just in case you missed it. Jared McCann was traded to the Maple Leafs on Saturday, right before the trade freeze, and now they left him unprotected just for them to take him.
Wow.
Yeah, imagine that. So the Penguins literally gave up nothing. I mean, I'm sorry, the Leafs gave up nothing. The Penguins didn't want to risk anybody or lose anybody big, so they said, fuck it, we're just going to trade Jared McCann. But he's a good player, though. I do like Jared McCann. He's been jumping around a little bit lately. But he is a solid player, though.
Okay.
So far, so good for the Kraken. I mean, they're doing pretty well for themselves. Jared McCann, Yanni Gord, Chris Drieger, Will Morgan. These are good players.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, they're role players, sure, but they're definitely going to get better opportunities in Seattle. All right. What's going on here? Why are they wearing gloves? You did not. What team are you using for this?
Oh boy, here we go. JT Brown over here.
All right, guys.
Oh yeah, I forgot about JT Brown.
All right. Sorry, guys. My this connection's brutal.
Yeah, I can tell.
I don't want to overthrow it. You got to be careful back there.
Here we go. Nice catch. Caught that fish right in the air.
A completed pass. You still got it, Tom. You still got it.
Actually, while we go into the pick too, just a couple comments. So Trevor jumping on, and he said that the Sabres are a joke, and then Mr. Coggill here says many Sabres fans have too high of expectations for a fringe NHL third D pairing.
Well, if Ryan was such a fucking genius, then he'd be a scout for any NHL team, but he's kind of an idiot, to be honest with you. I'm just stating a fact. So you can't protect everybody. See, I challenge Ryan's intelligence because sometimes it's insulting to my head.
So, how about the U.S. women's soccer team losing to Sweden?
Good. Fuck them. They deserve it, to be honest.
That's what you get for kneeling.
Right.
So, I mean, we're not even halfway through this division yet, I think. I mean, how many teams got taken thus far?
I say we're up to what? 8? 9?
I think 8 or 9, somewhere like that.
Yeah, because
They just did the Atlantic Division.
Yeah, because right now we have Henry Lozon from Boston, Will Borgen from the Sabres, Dennis Shalowski from Detroit, Chris Dredger from Florida, who was the first goaltender taken, Cal Fleury from Montreal, Joey Decor from Tampa, Yanni Gort from Tampa, and then we had Jared McCann from Toronto.
Mm-hmm. Yep, so Atlantic Division is done. We got 3 more to go. So, Sean,
Yep.
of all the picks from the Atlantic Division, from Boston, Buffalo, Detroit, Florida, Montreal, Ottawa, Tampa, and Toronto, which one do you think in this division alone is your favorite so far from
So far, I gotta go with Stranger.
with Drager?
Yeah.
Yeah, should be a solid goalie if he's the starter, which I don't know if he will be, but I mean, he got a handsome contract from the Kraken on Monday, so it's no surprise he was going to get taken anyway.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, he was probably the most talked about player to go to Seattle within the last 2 months.
Yeah.
I think we've talked about him a few times.
Yeah, I remember when we did our mock draft show, we talked about him for a little while, and part of the reason I thought that Dredger would be going is just because Tampa's got a lot of goaltending depth, and just the fact that they could afford to get rid of him and still have multiple goaltenders in the system. I mean, that was pretty much an easy choice. Plus, it gets Dredger some playing time also. So I mean, it's going to definitely help him, and he could be the number one.
Yeah, I mean, it was a bit of a risk. I mean, Driga only has like 41 games under his belt in the NHL. But I think now that he's getting a better opportunity, in Seattle, I definitely think that we're going to be seeing more opportunities for these guys to play. I mean, the whole reason for expansion to begin with, right?
Right, exactly. I mean, and especially when you have to look back at Tampa, I mean, Vasilevsky's number one, and that's his job right there. So, I mean, there's no way he's going anywhere. So, I mean, it just left Dredger is expendable, and I mean, and it'll give him some playing time finally.
I think so too. I would say of all the picks in the first 8 rounds, I would say my favorite is definitely Yanni Gord from Tampa. That to me is instantly my favorite. Because you're talking about a 2-time Stanley Cup champion going from a Stanley Cup winner in Tampa and going to an expansion team in Seattle. I think I'm telling you, man, Yanni Gord, he's a third line center, but you know what? Now with this core, I have no problem saying that he can end up being a first line center on the Seattle Kraken. There is no doubt about that in my head.
He absolutely could be. And the fact that he's won a cup with Tampa, I mean, that's going to be huge for especially the younger guys in the locker room because, I mean, here you have a young veteran who's won the championship and he knows what it takes to win. So a lot of that leadership can rub off on the other players.
Without a doubt. So, and Tom, what do you think is your favorite pick? Because Sean said Drieger, I said Gord. What about you?
Thinking about it a little bit more, Yanni Gord's a great forward. That's probably the best pick of the draft so far.
Yep. All right. They're going to the Metropolitan Division, and the first one up is Carolina, and it's looking like Morgan Geekie from the Carolina Hurricanes. Interesting pick. Why did they pick Geekie over Jake Bean or Nino Niederreiter? I mean, I saw the exposed list. I'm looking at it. I'm like, why did you pick Geekie over Niederreiter or Jake Bean?
Yeah,
unless for some reason they have a side deal, which I don't know what they're gonna do, but I have to imagine they got something going on there. There has to be.
Right. Yeah, something about this pick just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me because, I mean, as you said, I mean, there's definitely better players that they could have taken off of Carolina. So
Yep.
the only thing I'm thinking of is either with him only having 2 seasons, either they're going to grow him in the AHL and then eventually bring him up, or they're going to just flip him to another team and possibly bring in some additional assets.
All right, so from the Columbus Blue Jackets, they just took Gavin Bayreuther. Really? Gavin Bayreuther over Max Domi?
That makes 0 sense.
Oh my God! What the fuck, man? Come on! What is Seattle doing? Why are you picking these role players that have no impact on your team?
With Max Domi being available 100 times a Sunday, I would have taken Max Domi.
I would have took Domi instantly, but I kind of get why they passed up on him, considering the fact that he has attitude issues throughout his career, and he's never been happy from where he's always been. You know, from Arizona to Montreal to Columbus, it didn't matter. He was not happy wherever he was. He's just a brat, honestly. But I think he would have had a better opportunity in Seattle than anybody right now on the list, to say the least.
Right.
So, what do you think of the 2 picks now so far?
John.
Yeah, I kind of got. Yeah, I got. Yeah, I kind of questioned them. I mean, they had a good start. I mean, why did and they just barely fell off the rails? Like, what the heck?
Yeah. All right. So from the New Jersey Devils, the Seattle Kraken just took Nathan Bastian. Oh my God! I could tell you just from this pick alone, a good friend of ours by the name of Rob Hazu, who's a Devils fan, who is obsessed with Nathan Bastian. He is obsessed with him. And he's really pissed right now that the Kraken just got him. All right, the next one are the New York Islanders and the New York Rangers. Oh, boy. All right, who are they taking from the Islanders? Oh, God. All right. All right, here we go.
Seattle WNBA franchise. She's about to represent Team USA in Tokyo for 5th Olympics. She's going to be one of the flag bearers. We're not here in person, so take it away.
Hey everyone, I'm super we got in Seattle Storm. I'm so sorry. But definitely good dance. First of all, let's go Kraken. Second of all, Ron, tell us who your pick is for my hometown team, the New York Islanders.
Oh God.
The New York Islanders, Seattle Kraken select Jordan Everly.
No!
Please welcome
Oh!
Kraken, Jordan
I'm
Everly.
sorry.
Oh my God! You son of a bitch!
Wait, who?
They just took Jordan Eberle from the Islanders. Oh, God!
There's
Sorry,
the
Bobby.
player right there.
And he's got the number 7 jersey on. Would you look at that?
Holy crap! Seattle, that's a huge.
You could have protected him, Lou.
Yeah, it's amazing turnout that everyone here in the votes. It's really the first time for me in Seattle other than
Wow.
passion here.
The fact that he got exposed over Cal Clutterbuck or Matt Morton still astounds me. Good thing they kept Josh Bailey, but Jordan Eberle? Oh my God.
Impact player for the Islanders.
Jesus Christ, man. I'm going to miss Eberle, man. Eberle's a good player, though. That's another superstar the Kraken just got, man. You're going to really like this guy, Sean. I'm telling you, man.
Well, I'm sure I will.
He's good. You know what it is? He's fast. He's got good puck handling skills, and he can put the puck in the net. That's a big aspect. And plus, he was playing with a lot of these good guys like Josh Bailey, Anthony Beauvillier, J.G. Pajot. These are good players that the Islanders have. And now the Islanders are just making more cap space room for more action, I guess you could say. That's what they're planning to do.
Right.
And now, here we are.
Tremendous support for this franchise. Tremendously popular player for the Sounders. Please welcome Brad Evans.
I would say besides Yanni Gord, this is definitely the best pick so far.
Somewhat familiar experience. I don't know what the Sounders expansion draft quite measured up to this, but you were taken to the expansion draft from Columbus back in 2008. So you kind of know what players like George are going through. Exactly. I found out on a flight home 3 days after we won the championship.
Brad Evans, the Seattle Sounders FC midfielder from 2009 to 17.
I hope that these players understand what they're getting themselves into because this is a special. When you come in to a team where everybody is new, it's a different experience than players have had before in their life. What's the most important thing, kind of bonding and developing together? Look, these guys, I know the Wickies, I know people. That's their due diligence.
I'm so pissed that they got rid of Jordan Eberle. Fuck, man. Fuckity, fuck.
Sprinkled in with a couple talented players. You'll be in the playoffs 12 straight years, just like the Sounders. You heard Brad.
All right, so the next team up is the New York Rangers.
And that's the contribution of this new team from the New York Rangers.
Here we go, from the New York Rangers.
Seattle Kraken select Colin Blackwell.
Oof, good pick, guys. Colin Blackwell's another one.
This guy might be one of the hardest working players in the entire National Hockey League. He is bound to be a fan favorite here in Seattle. He's one of those players that just does a little bit of everything.
There he goes.
To establishing himself as an NHL player. And I will tell you, Chris, the Rangers are certainly going to miss Blackwell.
Mm-hmm.
But the Rangers lost to Seattle.
100%.
Yeah.
Colin Blackwell. Okay.
Very nice player.
Heavy motivation to show you.
He's a pretty good player, though, I will say. He doesn't have all the seasons, but you know what? He'll definitely be missed in the Big Apple for sure. And I hate the Rangers, but that's the truth.
Yeah.
Great use of analytics.
Very good role player with the Rangers, I'll tell you. Now he's kind of expanding the role with the Kraken. I mean, he's going to probably put up some very good numbers here.
In the numbers. What are the components that go into selecting a guy like Blackwell? Well, I mean, if you look at a player first of all, foremost to see how he plays, and then certainly.
Tom, what do you think of the picks so far?
We look at the numbers.
The last couple picks, very solid. I mean, the Eberle pick, I'm almost having to think that was just a salary cap dump.
Tom, can you hear us?
Because, I mean,
Tom.
yeah.
Awesome. The board is filling out.
Oh, well. Yeah, what do you think of the picks?
I was going to say, Eberle, that's
Performed so good. By the time they got back on track.
What about you, Sean?
No, I'm just saying. I'm glad they got back on track.
Yeah, for sure. We're going to definitely have to look over the divisions again because it seems like to me that they pretty much finished with this division, which I don't know for sure, but we're going to have to find out. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They still got a few more to go. They got to do Pittsburgh. They got to do Washington. They got to do. Who else is in that division? Oh, Philadelphia. They got to do Philadelphia.
Mm.
Yeah, this is the Metropolitan Division, so there's 3 teams left to go. So Pittsburgh, Washington, Philadelphia. That's the teams that have to still fill up in this division. And then, of course, I'm going to ask you, after every division, who was your favorite from those 4 divisions, like we just did a few minutes ago or a half hour ago, whenever it was. And then altogether, we'll figure out who your favorite player was throughout the entire draft.
Okay.
I'm just saying, I'm just saying that Jordan Eberle pick was just, that really just stung me, man. That really did. Because, Eberle, he was treated really, really nicely here for the last, I want to say 5 years with the Islanders. Yeah. So it's sad that they let him go, but at the end of the day, you got to do what's right. And sure enough, they're going to have to go and get some big name free agents now in free agency next Wednesday. So it's going to be really exciting about who they get in the Big Apple market or in the market or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. But at the same time, now they've got some cap space they can work with. So, I mean, that does make it a lot easier, at least when it comes to that.
Well, I know one thing for certain is I've heard that the Islanders are definitely in the discussion to try to get Gabriel Landeskog.
I mean, and that would be a nice move if they can make it happen, because, I mean, we know for a while that he hasn't been exactly happy in Colorado, especially with McKinnon and that situation going on. So, I mean, if Landeskog comes to the Islanders, I mean, that right there, that's cup contention again.
I don't know if it's the fact that he wasn't happy, because the way I see it is that, according to reports, they were saying that he was very emotional about the contract negotiations, and it got really intense, and that they had to break up a fight in between negotiations because Landeskog does not want to leave Colorado. And you have to remember, he's their captain, for crying out loud. So right. You don't want to get rid of one of your best players and let him walk for nothing.
Well, exactly. Then, of course, we've seen that before, a.k.a. Darcy Regier from the Sabres, you moron.
Yeah, but the difference between that situation and the situation with Landeskog is, Colorado, Joe Sakic wants to keep him in Colorado. So I can see why they wanted to go after him, but it is what it is. But I guess now I'm really curious who they take from the Avalanche, because that whole situation with Ryan Graves now, it's pretty much dead, because that was who was the player that was projected to go. But that situation is now dead since when we did the show about a week ago, leading up to the draft. Obviously Graves was traded to the Devils.
Yep.
Wow. I'm just saying, I'm having fun with this draft. I really am. What do you think, Sean?
Yeah, I'm liking it too.
Here you go.
All right, all right, show's back on my end.
Damon, fans are starving for a deep Flyers playoff run. Try to shore up.
Oh, they're talking about the Flyers.
Priority is obviously shore up the defense.
It's the next team they're talking about.
They'll have 3.5 goals a game. They did make a trade for Ryan Ellis, which will help.
Oh yeah, that.
Kevin is at the Space Needle, which will turn 60 years old next year. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way.
That is nice scenery out in the mountains up there.
Very good. Kevin.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
Well, nothing says Seattle quite like the iconic Space Needle. This building is one of the tallest buildings west of the Mississippi. You know the amazing history that it has, but it also has some awesome 360 panoramic views. So we've got
look at that view, man. There's Space Needle.
Yeah, absolutely, Kevin. It's a gorgeous day up here at the top.
I actually wouldn't mind visiting Seattle.
Oh man, that's awesome.
I would totally go to Seattle. I would go to Seattle for a game.
Yeah, me too.
And a little closer in today, we have a view of Seattle Kraken superfan Paul Buxton. Paul, what's up? Nice to meet you, man. Pleasure meeting you. Well, I understand that Paul has a question that he wants to ask of General Manager Ron Francis. Paul, go ahead.
I would kind of be scared to death just by looking out the window from there.
The Philadelphia Flyers Seattle Kraken select Carson Wierenski.
Who did you take?
Very quick instincts, Ron. Just like he was on the ice.
Carson Wierenski. Did I hear that correctly? Carson Wierenski?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. Fucking really? Over James Van Riemsdyk, over Shane Gostisbehere, over Robert Hagg. What the fuck? What is he doing?
This is like, I have to question it again.
I'm really starting to question him right now. I mean, I don't even know who the fuck Carson Wierenski is anyway.
Right. Yeah, me either.
All right. Oh, Cammy Granado. Whoopee. Cammy Granado's coming up. Fuck.
The Seattle Kraken, Cammy Granado. Cammy, welcome.
Oh, God. 2 more teams from the Metropolitan.
Yeah, one of the things I'm noticing though, it seems like Francis is going for a lot of young players that are just going to eventually grow.
Seems that way.
Yeah, a lot of these guys that only have like 1 or 2 seasons apiece.
And a lot of the players, too, are in their mid-30s. Carson Wierenski from the Flyers. Remember all that talk about Gossespierre and JVR or whatever? You remember all that talk?
Yeah, we even talked about it on this.
What a disappointment, man. I hate the Flyers, but they really hyped. I feel like the league overhyped the Flyers as far as their pick goes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I remember Adam was chosen to pick the Flyers, and he originally said Claude Giroux was drunk or he was high, and then he switched it to Brian Elliott, and so now we're all completely off at this point.
Oh, yeah. I think it was both.
Wait, who did you take? Oh, my God. You took Brandon Tanev. You fuckers. You took Brandon Tanev. My God. Wow. What a shock. They just took Brandon Tanev from the Penguins. That's a hefty contract.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's not a cheap move.
No, it's not. That's insane. The end. There it is, Brandon Tanev from the Pittsburgh Penguins. I remember 2 years ago, wasn't it like a 6-year deal or something crazy like that?
Yeah.
With Tanev when he came from, what was it, Vancouver or Winnipeg? I think it was Winnipeg. And then goes to Pittsburgh, and now he got exposed. And the Penguins now have more salary cap. And now, sure enough, they took on one of the more expensive contracts.
Right.
That's such an odd pick. Like literally think about that. Why would you assign somebody like Brandon Tanev, and then all of a sudden now you expose him?
It makes no sense. And I mean, and I can understand the fact that they want to shed some salary cap, but I don't know like how I feel about this pick. I'm not really crazy about it, honestly.
I'm surprised that they passed up on Zach Aston Reese for Brandon Tanev. I'm literally surprised. Yeah. Yeah, this is one of the better picks in the draft. I mean, Everly, Tanev, Drager. Who was the other one that got taken? Fuck.
Yanni Gourde.
Yanni Gourde. That was another one. So right now, Seattle has 4 big names on their roster right now.
Mm-hmm.
And the majority of them were here. So that's really interesting. And the last team in the Metropolitan Division is the Washington Capitals. Who are you taking? Vitek Vanacek from the Washington Capitals. Ooh, another goalie by Seattle, but this time from Washington. Interesting. Vitek Vanacek, huh? And I'm pretty sure Andy was really close on this pick because he said Ilya Samsonov to be picked by Seattle, but Vanacek is a pretty good player too, I will say. And look at him. He's really young. He's got 1 year in the league already. And look at his record in general. 21 wins in his rookie year this past year. A 71-43-22 record, and then 140-plus games in the AHL with the Hershey Bears. That's pretty damn good.
Yeah, that's a really nice start.
Yeah, so from what I'm gathering now, I'm going to guess that the 1-2 tandem is probably – it's pretty oblivious to me – is the 1-2 tandem is Chris Drieger and Vitek Vanacek.
Honestly, not a bad tandem.
Yeah, who do you think is going to be the starter now at this point? Because Joey Decourt is not going to be on the Kraken roster.
Right. I think Jigger gets the start, and then basically what will happen is Vanacek is kind of their goalie of the future, where get a few years in, and then basically he would probably take the reins as number 1.
Yeah, between the two, Sean, now that the Kraken have pretty much completed the assess of 3 goalies, who do you think is going to be the starter and who's going to be the backup? Between Jody Decourt, Chris Drieger, and Vitek Vanacek. Who do you think is gonna get the number one and the number two? I think it's gonna be Drieger, but go ahead.
I'm thinking Drieger might be number one.
And then who do you think is gonna be number two? Vanacek or DeCord?
I'm gonna pick DeCord.
DeCord?
Yeah.
We'll see what Dave Haxtell brings to the table come training camp, because there's no guarantee he gets the stop. But I'm almost certain at this point that Drieger is going to be the guy for Seattle, especially now with all the picks in play.
Yep. Yeah, especially with the 3 goalies on the roster now. I mean, I think it's more clear what's going to happen. And then, I mean, but don't be surprised. I mean, anything could happen. And the fact that, I mean, there always is that possibility where they do the goalie rotation, where basically you have Drieger take maybe half the games, Vanacek take the other half. I mean, they could always do that route also. But seriously, if it were me, Drieger gets the start and he's the number one.
Yeah, for me, I would say Drieger's the number one, and then Vanacek would be the number two. That's my opinion. But so let's go over the Metropolitan Division, Sean, and then Tom, and then myself. I'll start with Sean. Between the Carolina Hurricanes, the Columbus Blue Jackets, the New Jersey Devils, the New York Islanders, the New York Rangers, Philadelphia Flyers, the Pittsburgh Penguins, and the Washington Capitals. So I'll read you the players who they took. From Carolina, it was Morgan Geekie. From Columbus, it was Gavin Bayreuther. From New Jersey, it was Nate Bastian. From the Islanders, it was Jordan Eberle. And then from the Rangers, it was Colin Blackwell. From the Flyers, it was Carson Lewinsky. And then from the Penguins, it was Brandon Tanev. And then from the Capitals was Vitek Vanacek.
Okay, so out of all of them, which one's my favorite one?
Yeah, which one's your favorite? Because the last one you said was you said Drieger, correct? In the last one? Drieger?
Yeah.
So who would your favorite be in this division?
I think I'm gonna go with that guy from the Islanders, just because of your reaction.
Yeah, Jordan Eberle.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jordan Eberle's a beast. I'm telling you right now, Eberle is going to be a hell of a player for the Kraken. Guarantee you that.
Well, I don't deny it one bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss him deep. I'm gonna miss him really, really deeply, man. I really will. And what's really ironic about all this, Tom, is if you remember, 5 years ago when the Islanders traded for Jordan Eberle, they traded up Ryan Strome, and now Ryan Strome's name has been kicked around lately as of rumors as to him possibly going to the Seattle Kraken.
I mean, if that happens, I mean, and he goes to the Kraken, that's another huge find there. I mean, out of the Metropolitan Division, I mean, I totally agree with you guys. Eberle, absolutely, hands down, best pick of the expansion draft so far. And I mean, and the other good thing, and some people may not remember this, but when Eberle came into the league, with him playing in Edmonton, he is able to handle the Western Conference teams very easily, and he has a lot of experience with that. So a lot of times when the Western Conference versus the Eastern Conference, the West, they tend to play a more physical style of game. So I mean, I think that's actually going to play in pretty well, especially with what Gord can do, especially with what we see with Lausanne possibly. I mean, they're building that team, even though they're going younger. I think Francis is trying to get some young veterans in, but also try to get a physical brand of hockey going on, and I hope that's the case.
Yeah, I would say so. I think we can all agree that the best pick in that division was Jordan Eberle.
Right.
Yep.
I'd almost even say out of the first 16 picks, that's the best pick that they've had.
What, Eberle?
Yeah.
I would say let's put a little top three together because they're just showing off the stadium for a little bit. But let's go over the picks thus far. So for top three, this is going to be a tough one. Then I'm going to go through the room. I'm going to say at number three, Yanni Gourde. And then number two is going to be Jordan Eberle. And number one is going to be Chris Drieger. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's going to be Yanni Gourde, Chris Drieger, and then Jordan Eberle. That's what I think it's going to be in terms of that order.
Yeah, I would say if I have a top three list that I would go with, I definitely have to say that Yanni Gourde, without a doubt, is probably going to be like my number three pick. I would say Drieger is probably going to be my number two pick, and then I'll put Eberle as number one, just because I mean, he's a huge difference maker, and he's really going to come out and show.
Yeah. What about you, Sean? If you had a number three pick, I mean your top three. And before you
Top
do,
three.
Arizona just hold on. I don't mean to cut you off, but you will say what you have to say. But Arizona just picked Tyler Pitlick. Seattle just picked Tyler Pitlick from the Coyotes.
Mm.
Yep. Go ahead, Sean. What were you gonna say? You're in top three.
So my top three, Yanni at number 3. Let's see, Jordan Eberle number 2, and Chris Drieger number 1.
Okay, so we all have a similar list, but it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
But all right, that's not too bad. All right, so from the Coyotes, the Kraken just selected Tyler Pitlick. All right, so it's an interesting pick from the Coyotes' perspective. Oh, who do they have out here? Is that Gary Payton? Oh no, that's who the hell's this guy?
They showed Gary Payton in the beginning.
Yeah, what did you say? I'm sorry.
I'm saying they showed Gary Payton in the beginning.
Yeah. Okay, Gary Payton and Sean Kemp. There you go.
Mhm.
These two guys played from the Supersonics.
That's Sean Kemp?
And that's Gary Payton.
Yeah, for Sean Kemp.
I didn't even recognize him.
But yeah, because they got old.
But I know Gary Payton, but Kemp? Dang, what happened to him?
He got fat.
I legit did not even recognize his face.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, Sean Kemp is his prime though. I mean,
Yep.
Beast.
I knew they were bringing Gary Payton because I saw the thing. I also saw Marshawn Lynch and Bobby Wagner in here, and I also saw somebody else.
Hmm.
Right, they still had the Beast.
All right. I like what they did at Gaswork Park with just the little, like with the stage, and then we have the Kraken tentacles. I love that theme. You heard that? Yeah, Gary Payton just said he's going to be watching the Kraken all the time now.
That's good.
Yeah,
There
definitely.
you go. 2, okay. All right, so they're going to be announcing 2 picks here. Oh, wow, they're getting the crowd going. Oh, okay. John Quenneville. Okay. Johnny Quenneville, eh? All right. 2 goals and 5 points in 42 NHL games, and he's the second cousin to head coach Joel Quenneville. Wow, okay. So there's a bit of a relation. So his second cousin is Joel Quenneville, who's the head coach of the Florida Panthers.
Wow.
Yeah, so. And by the way, John Quenneville was traded, but was drafted by the Devils.
Hmm.
Oh, shit. All right, another big name just got taken. Jonas Donskoy from the Colorado Avalanche.
Holy crap.
Wow. Jesus Christmas.
Jeez.
Yeah, dude, that guy's a beast. I'm telling you right now. He's going to be a good player, Jonas Donskoy.
That's a very nice addition.
All right, Mr. Francis, what are you doing now? Okay. This is an interesting pick. I will say this. I got to give Ron Francis credit. He's really taking his time with these picks. Yeah, Donskoy's a good player, though. I always liked him when he was on the Sharks. I actually wanted the Sabres to get him a few years ago, but he ended up going to the Avalanche, of course, and now he's on the Kraken.
It's a beautiful, beautiful thing to do, and we're going to take you on the slopes of the mountain here. Not quite the 14,000-foot summit, but record-breaking mountaineer Andrew Hughes.
Mount Rainier.
Made the trek up the snow-capped peak where you want to put on crampon approach. Be very careful.
What are they doing in Mount Rainier?
10,000 feet, the highest altitude.
Yeah, one of the highest mountains in the United States.
Oh, here we go. Yep, as expected. It's Jamie Alexiak. There it is. It's now official. Jamie Alexiak not only got picked by the Kraken, but it was leaked this morning that he got a handsome contract earlier today. Holy shit! Look at that jersey. Oh my God.
I'm about to see it. Come on.
Welcome to Seattle.
Oh, some of the jerseys. Oh.
Very nice defensive right there.
Mm-hmm.
Nice pick, Kraken. I'll give you that. Nice pick.
Yes.
I mean, look, we knew this was going to happen. This was expected, but I think the majority of the people that were there probably either A, already knew that was going to happen, or B, they didn't know dick and they just said, fuck it. We're just going to just go with what we can get our hands on with. You know what I mean? You know what I'm starting to think?
Mhm.
We're in an hour into the show already, and I have a feeling they're going to announce all of the side deals towards the end of the show.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case.
Maybe.
Because I know they did it during the show 4 years ago with the Vegas Golden Knights, which we didn't do, obviously, because the show wasn't even around by that point. But if we were around, we would have definitely, have no doubt, done the Vegas Golden Knights. But we'll see.
Yep.
Yeah, and actually, just a fun note too. Our show's been on over a year now because this is episode 51, so 52 is our next episode, which means we've actually done a full calendar year.
Wow. Would you imagine that? That's amazing. 52 episodes in a full calendar year. That's pretty damn good. So that means
It doesn't even feel like it, man. I keep saying time flies by quick.
Even though we've taken a couple weeks off here and there, I mean, we've literally it all averages out to like one episode a week.
that's pretty damn good, honestly.
Yep.
Yeah, so Sean, how do you feel about that Jamie Alexiak pick, even though it was already announced?
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Coolio.
Did he lose a tooth?
Yep. All right. And the next team is the Minnesota Wild. And from there, it's Carson Soucy. All right. This is a really interesting one. You know what's really funny? I've been reading leading up to this draft. I've been seeing a lot of reports of them really liking Kaapo Kähkönen as their starter. But I don't know what was in Ron Francis's head. But I don't understand why they took Soucy, but he's a good player. He's a good, hardworking defenseman in his mid-20s. But then again, when you take a look at it, it just seems to me that it felt like a missed opportunity, don't you think?
I think it was, but at the same time, I mean, Soucy's not bad in terms of the numbers he's had in the time he's been up with Minnesota so far. I mean, the other thing I look at, he's got some pretty decent size on him too. I mean, 6'5", 211, that's not bad. So, I mean, that's something where I'm kind of getting the feeling that he's trying to build more for the physicality side of things, especially defensively. And I mean, I don't mind that. I mean, especially when you have teams like Edmonton, you have teams like Calgary, you've got LA out in the West. I mean, you're going to need to be bulked up and you're going to need to have that size. So I'm totally fine with that. But to go back real quick to Alexiak, very nice pick. And I could see him and Lausanne being a really nice pair or being like a first and second pair. That's a very nice tandem.
I just found out on the small ticker on the bottom with ESPN, I just found out, Sean, that they just announced that the Kraken will have their first ever game on the road against the Vegas Golden Knights.
Oh gosh!
I'm watching that matchup.
Oh no!
Yep, and October 23rd, their home opener, the Vancouver Canucks.
Oh good gosh! Rivalry!
Oh.
Freaking rivalry!
Talk about a way to do a home opener, man. You have your closest team right there, Vancouver.
Already.
That's gonna be a death match.
Already, what in the world?
I just found out
I would
from the
I would
bottom.
love to watch that in person.
Oh, dude, I would love to. We should totally watch that game together. Us three and my friend CJ, who's at my wedding next year. I've said it numerous times.
Yeah.
My buddy CJ is a huge Vegas Golden Knights fan. And I think the two of them, honestly, between Sean and CJ, I personally think they would just be going back and forth at each other.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man.
That's awesome, dude. I mean, literally, your first ever game is against the fucking Golden Knights in Las Vegas, and your home opener is against the Canucks.
Two of your three biggest rivals right there.
For real.
I would say like I can see though
So
the
if-
rivalry between Vancouver and Seattle. That's gonna probably be one of the better rivalries in the league. I mean, I would say if that can turn out to be something like either like similar to what they had with Montreal versus Quebec, or if they have something or similar to like what you would find with Calgary versus Edmonton, there's gonna be some very nice games in the future with that.
Shoot,
Without a doubt.
Yeah, can you picture it if you get them two in a playoff round? Oh, damn.
Damn.
That would be a
Dude, imagine the Kraken. Imagine if the Kraken make the playoffs in their first year, just like Vegas.
I'd love it.
Oh man.
I would gloat over it, honestly.
Yeah, I'd love to see something like that.
Yeah, I'm curious if they're done with the Central Division.
Yeah, I mean, we're up to like they'll be pick number 22, so
Oh, this is the NHL draft. Excuse me.
yeah. I will say the NHL site's been off and on so far too, because I think it's either overloaded right now, but I know I'm trying to connect onto it, and it's basically refusing to just because of network traffic on there. I think a lot.
Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with this expansion draft.
Yeah, same here. I mean, the Vegas one was a lot of fun also. I mean, this one's very interesting though. I think with Vegas, we knew more up front of who they were going to go with because it was a lot more obvious and there was a lot more coverage of it. But Seattle, though, I like the fact that we really didn't have a whole lot of that this time around.
No, and I think that's what's the most interesting aspect of all this is we went into this draft thinking, we had no idea who they were taking. And some of the players they picked up, I didn't really understand it. But when I look deeply down into this whole situation, to me, it feels like that. I guess it felt like a missed opportunity on certain their picks. Like I wasn't very crazy about the Flyers pick with Carson Wierenski, I believe his name was. I'm surprised that they picked him over someone like Shane Gostisbehere or James Van Riemsdyk, because then by that point, the Kraken would have probably had more scoring opportunities.
Right. But at the same time, when we saw players like Alexiak, Donskoy, you look at Vanacek as a goaltender, Yanni Gord, you look at Jordan Eberle, which is a huge pickup. And then players like Lausanne, I mean, they did some very smart picks from those teams. And I think a lot of it is that they're trying to get I can definitely tell they're going for a younger core, but at the same time, I think that they're being very selective in certain spots. And I mean, they did find some.
At the same time, what? I didn't really hear what he was saying, but whatever. Yeah, how do you like in the draft thus far, Sean?
Mm-hmm.
It started off slow, but they're starting to get going, which is good.
Yeah, so far so good. All right. Who are we getting next?
All right. So it seems like to me, okay, here we go. This is the Central Division. I'm loading up the divisions from ESPN.com because they're going to be the ones covering the league. So hold on. So they did Arizona. Okay, so all right, the next one is Nashville. All right, who is they taking from Nashville? I'll go ask you the Central Division later. Oh, Marshawn Lynch.
Sweet.
Beast mode.
Fucking beast mode, man.
Man, that's gonna be
Let's see what beast mode has to say. Next up is Nashville, for those who missed it.
The Seattle style of play. They be all right. All right, yeah, listen, that makes perfect sense to me.
Oh,
It's the first pick, right? Yeah, with the first pick, we're going with the boy Cali.
oh, I like that one. Cali Arkarok. I like this pick a lot.
Wow.
That's another stellar player there. I like that one.
I am gonna miss him with the Brent.
Cali, if I didn't pronounce it right, tap in with me.
Good old Cali. I'm kind of shocked, though, that they passed up like Ryan Johansson or Matt Duchene, one way or the other. I'm kind of surprised by this.
Right.
And they took Cali Arkarok over those guys.
I know. My original thought is they were going to take Duchene, honestly, going back to the mock draft.
I was more convinced they were going to take Johansson, but then again, it is the expansion draft, and that's what's the beauty of all this. You think that they're going to take certain players. Like, there's no guarantee on certain players, and then all of a sudden, it's just like, boom, here we are. And sure enough, look where we are. We have Cali Arkarok on the friggin' Kraken now. Look at that. 6 straight seasons with 10-plus goals, tied for the Predators' goals this past year with 13. So what do you think, Sean, of this pick?
Definitely not bad.
All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that whole division is pretty much done. And now they're... Oh, here we go.
It's from Sweden, huh? Hey, congrats to your team beating the U.S. women's soccer team.
Holy shit. You did not. You
What?
did not. They brought in Bobby Wagner to announce this pick from the Blues.
What?
They got Bobby Wagner on the show. Look at it.
I'm about to see him in a sec. Oh, wow.
Bobby Wagner.
What in the world?
I think you got this one. I hope so. Ready? Are you ready? Not ready.
Here we go.
From the St. Louis Blues, Seattle Kraken, Vince Dunn.
Nice picks. Nice pick, Kraken. Nice pick. That's definitely going to be the face of your defense, without a doubt in my mind. From the St. Louis Blues, the Kraken select Vince Dunn.
Wow.
What a pick, boys. What a freaking pick.
Very nice pick.
Of course, and he won a Stanley Cup in 2019 with 20-plus points in each of his first 4 years in the league. Had a little trouble with a contract with the Blues. The Blues said, fuck it. We're just going to expose you instead. Oh, wait, who is this? Oh, from the Winnipeg Jets, the Seattle Kraken select Mason Appleton. Sean, you called this pick.
Oh, did I for real?
Yeah, you don't remember?
Mason. Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh,
Yeah, because you were thinking about
Mason Appleton. Oh, wow.
He actually got picked by the Kraken.
Yeah, you picked him. That was the very last pick of our mock draft.
Wow.
What a coincidence.
For real. And I was legitimately just guessing all of them.
Out of all the people that you picked, one guy actually goes.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I mean, for those keeping
Wow, that is awesome.
That is insane.
Yeah.
That dude. High five from the screen, man. High five on that.
Yeah, definitely.
That was nice. I'll give you credit for that. Credit is where credit is due.
Nope. So far, we're up to
You deserve this, man.
players that were that we
Wow.
All right, now we're down to the last division, the Pacific. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so we're gonna go over the Central Division and then the Pacific Division after the draft, and I'm hoping they announce the side deals.
Alaska Hockey Academy. The Kraken are openly supporting fans from all over the place. Folks up in Alaska are invited to become fans of this new franchise.
The Anchorage Hockey Academy for kids.
Seattle Kraken select Hayden Fleury.
What?
Another Fleury.
Seattle, what did you just do? Oh my God. They just took Hayden Fleury of all people.
Yeah.
Jesus Christmas. Tom, They just took the Fleury brothers.
I know. I was like, holy crap.
They just took the Fleury brothers.
Wow.
That is insane.
Yeah, Hayden and Cale Fleury are now members of the Seattle Kraken.
Wow.
Hey, Tom, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here, guys.
Tom,
Yep,
He froze
I'm
again.
whatever. But in the meantime, for us, Sean, holy shit. So you do understand what they just did here, right?
Boys. Was that
You do understand what they just did here.
they took the freaking brothers.
Yeah, they took Cale Fleury and Hayden Fleury.
Seattle making noise already.
Yep.
And they didn't even hit the rink yet.
Nope, they didn't even hit the guys yet, and sure enough, all right, here we go. So 7th overall pick in 2014 by the Carolina Hurricanes, but he won the 2019 Calder Cup with the Charlotte Checkers. That's awesome, man. Good for him.
Wow.
You know what's even more insane? He was traded from Carolina to Anaheim in April, and now he just got exposed and got taken by the Kraken.
It's nuts.
Tom just said, I'm here. That was insane with both Fleury brothers going to Seattle.
What do you honestly? I know you don't know either one of them just yet because they just got picked. But how do you feel with having a pair of brothers on the same team?
That is nuts.
Yeah.
Freaking nuts.
Just think about it this way: pair up both brothers.
I have to think that they're both. I have a feeling that they're gonna get taken. Like as far as like being in like the starting lineup, I have to think that they're gonna do it. Not everybody here, Sean, is gonna be on this roster. So this is just an expansion draft. So this is only 1/3 of the draft.
Yep.
Sean, Tom says, want to guess the both brothers pair up on defense. So honestly, with that logic and with that idea, it's possible, but I don't know if Dave Hackstall wants to do it. I don't know if he wants to do it, but I think a lot of Kraken fans are going to want those two to pair together now because, you know, like I said, they're brothers. So to have your older brother and your younger brother being on the same team, meanwhile your dad is a legend, it's kind of insane. So now Theo Fleury could travel from wherever he's at, and he can fly to Seattle to watch his sons play for the Seattle Kraken. It's pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, so it looks like Calgary's up next when we get back from commercial.
Yep. So while we're waiting on commercial, let's go over the Central Division, and then we'll go over the Pacific Division after. So of all the picks between John Quenneville from Chicago, Jonas Donskoy from Colorado, Jamie Alexiak from Dallas, Carson Soucy from Minnesota, Kelly Yargarok from Nashville, Vince Dunn from the St. Louis Blues, and Mason Appleton from the Winnipeg Jets. Of all those picks, which one do you like best, Sean?
I like the Mason Appleton one because I picked it.
He is so proud of that. Like he will not shut the hell up about that.
This is like my first time even getting this much into hockey. I should be proud of myself.
Yeah, definitely. Pick one there, dude. That's pretty cool.
Oh
Out
man.
of three of us, Sean, you and me are the only ones that actually ended up having a correct pick off the draft. So we got that in common.
Real.
I mean, for a guy that's just getting into the sport, that's pretty damn impressive.
Yeah, agreed.
Mm-hmm.
That is pretty damn impressive. Tom, what's your favorite pick from the Central Division?
Can't go wrong with Vince Dunn. Huge for the defense, and he is going to be the face of that defense, hands down.
Yeah, I agree with you. I actually have two. One, I don't know which one I like better, but I agree with you on Vince Dunn on one hand, but on the other hand, I'm a really big fan of the Cal Yargarok pick because I really do think that with the experience that he's bringing from Nashville to Seattle, I think he's going to definitely pair up as a nice top six forward on this roster.
Yeah, he played really well with the Preds, and one of the things that you guys know, being on the show, is that I have family in Nashville, so I do follow the Predators quite a bit. And I mean, the amount of work that he's been able to do down there, and the fact that he's been able to contribute so well with his line mates, I mean, easily going to be a top 6 forward right there. And it's going to hurt Nashville because, I mean, they're going to be losing a pretty versatile player on top of it. So, I mean, I definitely think he's going to make a big impact with Seattle, though, especially with some of the younger guys that they've got.
Absolutely. And I'm calling this now. Here's my token. You ready for this, Sean? Remember, if you look at the Vegas Golden Knights, have you heard of the guy by the name of Shea Theodore?
Sounds familiar.
He's on the Vegas Golden Knights. Yeah. Here's a little funny thing about all this. He was traded from the Anaheim Ducks 4 years ago, and he became a top 3 defenseman on the Vegas Golden Knights, and he's one of the best defensemen in the game, if not the best one they have.
Wow.
Yeah, so the reason I'm bringing this up is I have a strong feeling that Vince Dunn is going to be Seattle's equivalent of Shea Theodore.
Yeah, I can see it happen.
And Vince Dunn already has a Stanley Cup, so that's a pretty impressive resume.
Yeah, he's got grappler talent too. I mean, he can really change a game instantly.
Yep. So let's see who they take from the Calgary Flames.
We already have a family to help take care of the community.
This pick from Calgary should be interesting.
Help take care of our new hockey team, the Seattle Kraken.
Because I've been saying for the last half an hour before the show, I said to Sean that there's speculation of a trade with Calgary. Here we go. Let's see who they're taking. Wow. Mark Giordano has been taken from the Calgary Flames to the Seattle Kraken.
Wow.
That's a big name player.
Yeah.
Wow. Mark Giordano has been taken from the Calgary Flames to the Seattle Kraken. So I'm guessing now, leading up to the rumors, it seems now that it's pretty clear that Mark Giordano could be the guy that is rumored to be going to the New York Rangers in that supposed trade for Ryan Strome. But the only way we're going to know for sure is if it actually happens. But Mark Giordano, man, he's older. He's 37 years old, but he is an instant fan favorite in Seattle. There is no question about that whatsoever.
Great veteran presence if they keep him on the team too. He knows how to win games.
And I think if anything is going to be possible right now, he's going to be the captain. I think if the Kraken go that route early, he's an instant favorite right now in Seattle. I can just tell. Wow. I'm legit surprised that Mark Giordano got picked. Wow, Seattle. Kraken, I gotta say, man, the Kraken are really killing it with this defensive core they got. I mean, Mark Giordano, Hayton Fleury, Cale Fleury, Vince Dunn, Jamie Alexia, soon to be Adam Larson when Edmonton goes on the clock. Dude, this is insane.
Yeah, I mean, I love the defensive core that they've got because, I mean, what it does is any shortcomings that they have with their forwards, I mean, it's going to really help make up for it, especially early on. And then, of course, naturally, the forwards will start to come up. And then, of course, with any free agency and any trades or acquisitions, I mean, they're building themselves a pretty nice roster here.
I'm kind of surprised, though. Like I said earlier, I'm kind of surprised that I've heard the name Mark Giordano being thrown around, but I didn't think they were going to actually do it. You know what I mean? Because he was older and they were going to pass up on it. So here's what I don't understand. You're willing to pass up on Carey Price, but you end up taking 37-year-old Mark Giordano, who's been in the game for almost 15 years, and now he's a member of the Seattle Kraken and could be rumored to get traded to the New York Rangers.
Right. I mean, if it were me, if I had to redo it, like go with the goalie roster, I mean, I would have not even taken Joey Decor. I would have gone with Carey Price, making the number one goalie. Then you have Vitek Vanacek, and then you have Chris Driedger. I mean, that would have been a great tandem.
Yeah. What do you think, Sean, of Mark Giordano?
I mean, freaking nice, man. Definitely didn't see that one coming.
Well, I can certainly tell you that he was the heart and soul of the Calgary Flames.
Oh, boy.
Very solid.
Yeah, imagine that. And the worst part about all this, he was their captain.
Oh, sucks to be Calgary right now.
Right. I mean, if they keep him, if the trade to New York doesn't happen, I can tell you right now, he's probably the first captain ever in the team history.
Yeah, I could see it. I mean, they didn't even have Derek Englund be the captain of the Golden Knights when they first came into the league, and they didn't even have a captain until this past year or whenever.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go. All right, so from the Edmonton Oilers, not surprising, they picked Adam Larson. So this was a no-brainer either. Again, this was one of the 2 picks this morning that was leaked out that was signed into an extension. So there you have it, Adam, Sean. Both Jamie Alexiak and Adam Larson are both members of the Seattle Kraken.
Oh man, that is nuts.
There you have it. Dude, I'm telling you right now, we're almost halfway through this draft, and I am almost certain that this defensive core is stellar. Stellar.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would definitely not be surprised if they make it to the playoffs in their first season.
You wouldn't be surprised that they made the playoffs in the first year?
Yeah. I would not be surprised.
We'll see. Next up is the Los Angeles Kings. Who are you taking from here? All right, so we're down to 3 more teams. The LA Kings, the San Jose Sharks, and lastly, the Vancouver Canucks.
Oh, boy.
Who did you take from the Kings? Curtis McDermott. Okay, I can be almost certain this guy will not be on the roster full-time. Just based off of this expansion draft, there is no way Curtis McDermott is not going to be on this roster. I mean, if he's young enough, then they may give him a chance, but I just don't see it happening. Oh, yeah, he's definitely not getting on the roster. Oh, boy. 27 years old, 6'5". That's a big boy. I'll tell you that. That's a big boy. All right, 2 more picks. Who are you picking from the Sharks? Hopefully it's someone valuable. San Jose doesn't have a lot to pick from. Hopefully they choose wisely. I wouldn't be surprised if it was Radim Seamek. I wouldn't even be surprised if it was like whatever, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're back at the Seattle Aquarium. Oh, that's cool. They got a submarine diver.
Nice.
Who? Who the fuck is Alexander True?
What?
169 games played over 3 seasons with the Seattle Thunderbirds in WHL. He's the cousin of Jets forward Nikolai Ehlers. Okay, other than that, who really cares? He's not going to be on this roster, so why does it matter? Unless you send him, either you cut him or you trade him. Don't get attached. I don't even know who the fuck Alexander True is anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, I don't watch the Sharks. I've never even heard of this guy until today, to be honest with you. Yeah, I'm not too impressed with that San Jose pick, but it's whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, we're down to the last team, the Vancouver Canucks.
Oh, boy.
All right, Seattle, who are you taking from the Vancouver Canucks, your new crosstown rivals? Wow, Jerry Bruckheimer's there.
Oh, good gosh.
I totally forgot. Wait, who did you say?
Wait, I'm saying Jerry Bruckheimer.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, Jerry Bruckheimer is a minority owner of the Kraken, Sean.
I didn't even know that.
Well, how do you think they got that sexy-ass trailer when they first came out?
No idea. Wow.
Yeah, there it is. Co-founder and co-majority owner of the Seattle Kraken.
Wow.
One of the greatest producers in Hollywood history.
Yep.
Well, if you're having Jerry Bruckheimer, this has to be a good pick. You really have to hit it out with this one.
For real. Wow.
Oh, they're bringing out. Oh man, they're bringing out all the new boys: Mark Giordano, Chris Tanev, Jamie Oleksiak, Chris Drieger, freaking Jordan Eberle, and Hayden Fleury. They're bringing out the 6 new members of the Kraken. And there's the last. Oh my God! They did. Oh my! Wow! Vancouver! You're so fucking stupid.
Who they pick?
Cole Lind from the Vancouver Canucks. This is easily a top prospect in the league. Easily.
Wow.
Seattle.
Jesus.
Good pick. Vancouver.
Great pick, by the way. Cole fucking Lind.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Damn.
Holy crap. Oh my God. You took Cole Lind. What a shock. I think if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure he was one of the top 5 best prospects on the Vancouver Canucks.
I think he was, from what I remember.
Jesus Christmas.
Now he's in Seattle.
Why would you give up Cole Lind of all people? Imagine being this dumb and you're giving up one of your best forwards in their prospect pool to an expansion team. Jesus Christ.
Guess that just makes the rivalry even bigger.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow. 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 I'm impressed. I gotta say, that was a fun show. I have to be honest with you guys. I really had a fun time with this, with the Seattle Kraken expansion special. So let's go over the Pacific and let's go over the final roster before the list for next year. So let's go over it. So here are the new members of the Seattle Kraken. We have Jeremy Lauzon from the Boston Bruins, Will Borgen from the Buffalo Sabres, defenseman Dennis Cholowski from the Red Wings, goaltender Chris Drieger from the Florida Panthers. That was unsurprising. Cale Fleury from Montreal, which was a big surprise considering that they passed up on Carey Price of all people, which would have sold you tickets. Joey Decord from Ottawa. By the way, Tom, you have Tampa twice, but that doesn't matter. So Joey Decord from Ottawa, Yanni Gourde from Tampa Bay, Jarrett McCann from Toronto, Morgan Geeky from Carolina, Gavin Bayruther from Columbus, Nathan Bastian from New Jersey, Jordan Eberle from the Islanders, Colin Blackwell from the Rangers, Carson Wawinski from the Flyers, Brandon Tanev from the Penguins, Vitek Vanacek from the Capitals, which I think was a really solid pick. Yeah. Tyler Pitlick from Arizona, John Quenneville from Chicago, Jonas Donskoy from Colorado, Jamie Oleksiak from Dallas, Carson Soucy from Minnesota, Kelly Yarkerock from Nashville, Vince Dunn, probably my favorite among the defensemen, from the Blues, Mason Appleton from the Jets. I know that's like Sean's new prized possession. Hayden Fleury from the Ducks, Mark Giordano from the Flames, which I'm surprised by. Adam Larson, who was unsurprisingly signed this morning, but I was surprised that he got picked from the Edmonton Oilers. Curtis McDermott from the Kings, Alexander True from the Sharks, and finally Cole Lind, probably one of the best players that are prospects in this draft, if not in the league, from the Vancouver Canucks. So let's go around the table. Tom, what do you think of? How do you think the Kraken did?
I mean, I think they had a very solid draft. I mean, they really got some nice pieces in there. And then, I mean, some of these players probably won't be on the final roster come the opening game of the season. But a couple players that really do stand out for me, though. Vince Dunn, I think, out of everybody, best pick that they had in the draft. He's going to be that cornerstone of the defense. He's going to be there for a long time to come. Donskoy, again, another great player. I do like how they ended up getting Yanni Gourde and especially Eberle. Huge players that are going to make an impact. And then I will say their goaltending tandem is actually a pretty nice tandem. I will say this. I don't know if the core will necessarily be there opening day because, of course, we still have the regular draft and then we still have other moves through free agency. But I do think Dredger, as it stands right now, if game one were to be today, Dredger is going to be probably the starter. Vanacek would be the backup, and then Decor would be the third goaltender. But I do think that there's going to be a nice little battle between Dredger and Vanacek.
I think so too. What do you think, Sean, of your draft? Like, how do you think they did? And if you had to pick a player that you really like the most of all the players that were picked tonight, who's your favorite? And then we'll all go over a top 5 selection after all this. So go ahead, Sean. Who do you think you like the best?
Okay, so overall, definitely a solid draft. And out of all of them, objectively, I would still say Chris Drieger.
You're still staying by Chris Drieger?
Yeah.
Is there another player that you really like on this list?
Besides Mitchell Appleton, let's see. I would have to go with Yanni Gord.
Yanni Gord? Yeah. Those are pretty solid picks. I think the Kraken did really, really well. I think they're going to be amazing on defense. There is no doubt about that. I think that defense is going to be absolutely stellar. The offense, I think the scoring wing, I think could be tweaked up a bit. But you know what? At the end of the day, they're going to make side deals, which I'm sure they're going to be announced pretty soon because they didn't even make any announcements for the side draft. I think they wanted to get over the draft first, then do the side trades because that's been talked about a lot. So I don't know when those will come out. I'm thinking pretty soon. I think though of all the players that I like the best, that's tough, man. I'm gonna say definitely Yanni Gord. I definitely think is a big impact player. I would not be surprised if Jordan Eberle was a standout player for the Kraken. And on top of all that, I could see Kalle Yarkerog. I could see definitely being an impact player for the Kraken as well. But my favorite pick, other than Yanni Gord, of course, is Vince Dunn. Vince Dunn, to me, will be the equivalent of Shea Theodore for the Kraken because there has been rumors that the Blues and Vince Dunn were not clicking really well on contracts. And Vince Dunn wanted to get out of St. Louis. And there was a lot of talk of him being traded. So I think it was really smart of the Blues to get rid of a distraction like Dunn. And Dunn is not even 25 yet, and yet he's on the verge of being a top 6 defenseman on the Seattle Kraken, if not one of the best defensemen in the league. He's already an established player. He's a Stanley Cup champion already. So on top of all that, he'd be in a really nice pair with some of these other guys like Adam Larson and Jamie Galexiak. So I think in general, though, I think this is a very solid draft by the Kraken in general.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I mean, and the biggest thing I look at defensively, they nailed it. I think they absolutely nailed it 100%. They have a great defensive core in the making right there. Offensively, I think they're probably going to struggle a little bit, but they really have some great impact players. So as we go into the regular NHL draft, and then, of course, as we go into free agency and we have some additional signings take place, I mean, they're going to probably tweak that a bit. But I really like that defensive core right off the bat. Top 5, I would say, no specific order. I would definitely say Yanni Gord is on there. Jordan Eberle, I love that pick. Absolutely a great pick that they made. Vince Dunn, he's going to captain that defense. And he really is not even at his prime yet, and he's already showing so many great flashes, and he's playing consistently. I could definitely see Donskoy and Alexiak also really making some big impacts early on. So those would be my top 5.
Yeah, I definitely think so. As far as number 5, oh God, this is hard. At number 5, yeah, this was no easy task. I will say that for sure. I'm gonna say at number 5, I'm gonna put 2 together. I'm gonna put the Fleury brothers together because A, they're brothers, and B, I think they could be a really good pair together. If Dave Haxtell and Ron Francis decide to go that route, that's my number 5. Number 4, I'm gonna put Kalle Yarkerok on here. I think Yarkerok will be a really nice top scoring winger for the Kraken going forward. Number 3, I'm gonna say Chris Drieger. Chris Drieger, I think, would be my number 3 pick for best player. Number 2, I have a really hard time because while I was listening to you, I had a really hard time actually figuring out who I wanted to put on here. But at number 2, I'm gonna put Yanni Gourde on here. I think Yanni Gourde, I mean, as great as he is, I feel like the Lightning, I mean, not the Lightning. I feel like the Kraken knew what they were going to get in Gourde. I think he was the best forward thus far, but I think, though, he wasn't the overall, like, the star attraction. You know what I'm saying? And then my number 1 guy, I would say, is Vince Dunn as my number 1 choice for the best player the Kraken took. And for an honorable mention, I'm definitely putting in Jordan Eberle. There was no question about that.
Hey, Sean.
All right, my turn. So my top 5 guys, no particular order. Definitely Chris Drieger, Yanni Gourde, Jordan Eberle, Vince Dunn, and Adam Larson.
All right, so that's your top 5 order. So, and I guess we could talk about, what do you think the pairs are going to look like next year?
Oh, man.
As far as defensive pairs. I mean, because wingers, it's anybody's guess.
Right.
Ooh. This is gonna be
If you had to contribute 3 lines.
I would say your number 1 is probably going to be, I could see Vince Dunn and Jeremy Lauzon.
You can see what?
Oh, I was going to say Vince Dunn and Jeremy Lauzon.
You freeze again?
I think he did.
Yeah.
And breaking news, and it just came out from CapFriendly.com, the Seattle Kraken did not make not one side deal. Like Vegas did 4 years ago. They made 10 side deals. Wow. Seattle made 0 side deals. Wow. That's disappointing. But there are people out there who are thinking that Mark Giordano could still be leaving. There's still a possibility. But you know what? From now to the draft, there's a possibility now that the Seattle Kraken finally have a roster. It's pretty obvious that they could do any trade they want now. So, not every player that's on this roster is not going to be here. So, they're probably going to use a handful of players, and they're going to flip them. That's what's probably going to happen. But I heard the rumor prior or leading up to the draft. I kept hearing Ryan Strome's name from the New York Rangers going to the Seattle Kraken. And it was based on who they took from Calgary. And to my surprise, it was Mark Giordano. So if it turns out to be a Giordano for Strome deal, there's a possibility that Giordano could go to the New York Rangers in a trade. And then Strome would go to the Kraken. So that would just bolster their offense. That's what I think. And I do think Tom is frozen again. So in general, though, I'm really impressed with this core. I mean, do I like it as much as Vegas? No, but I think that because what Vegas did was special, man. What the Golden Knights did 4 years ago, that was special because nobody had any faith in them to be anywhere near good at the time when they first came in the league. And if you remember, they started getting better and better and better, and then they were a top 5 team, and of course they went to the Stanley Cup Finals, and they lost to the Capitals in 5 games. So it's possible the Kraken can go to the Stanley Cup Finals. It's definitely possible.
Yeah, I agree.
Whether it happens, I mean, who knows?
It's just so interesting to me, honestly. I mean, I can't fathom, I can't say this enough. As much as I like what the Kraken did, I'm really impressed by that defense. I really am.
That's going to be the big thing that helps them early on. That really is.
Without a doubt.
And
you heard my comment earlier about the trade thing, right, Tom?
Yeah, I definitely did hear that. And
son of a bitch again.
I know it's been brutal tonight, but the one thing that I will say though is that we'll see what happens as we go forward.
Yeah, Tom, type it so we can hear you because we can't hear you, man. Me and Sean can. Yeah, sorry guys, the connection sucks. Yeah, no shit. Just type in what you were saying because it's not working at the moment.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, again, like I said, Sean, you're still new to the game. You just found out who they just took. So it's going to take a while to get used to. And, of course, The draft is on Friday. Trades can happen tomorrow. Trades can happen from now to basically to training camp. And the season starts in October. So, and the schedule, by the way, I found out is coming out tomorrow.
Oh boy.
Yep. And throughout the show, I already said that they're going to be playing the Vegas Golden Knights as their first ever opponent and their home opener, which has been confirmed, by the way, October 23rd against the Vancouver Canucks.
Oh man.
At Climate Pledge Arena.
Yeah, and Tom just typed, it's interesting that there were no side deals tonight when Vegas had 10. And he said top 3 D pairings. Dunn, Lauzon, Larson, Alexiak, and the Fleury brothers.
Okay, now the question becomes, which one is which? I mean, imagine being the opposition and you're playing the Kraken and your top pairing would be the Fleury brothers. It's like, who the fuck is Hayden and who the fuck is Kale?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I think, I'm sure they might find a way to separate the difference.
I'm sure they do. I mean, the last time there were a pair of brothers on the same team, I could think of 2 on the top of my head. Well, actually, more than that. There was the Stastny brothers when they were on the Quebec Nordiques. There was the Niedermeyer brothers when they played for the Ducks, when they won the Cup together. And, of course, there was the Sedin brothers when they played for the Vancouver Canucks. So that's a pretty interesting aspect. And by the way, we actually have an update on Adam Larson from Elliot Freeman on Sportsnet. He said, quote, I just think that he wanted a fresh start. And if you look at the last couple of years, it's been pretty emotional for him, some family issues. And I wonder if he was ever comfortable in Edmonton with the Taylor Hall trade. And I think at times the joke is, quote, 1 for 1. And Freeman also says that I wonder if that ever made him feel really comfortable in Edmonton. So it sounds like to me, Adam Larson was just not happy in Edmonton. He didn't want to get traded. I believe his dad died from whatever condition. I don't really remember because I never heard that until now. I just think he just wanted to get out of Edmonton. And if anything, I don't blame him. So, and there was a lot of mixed reviews, or I would say mixed feelings in Edmonton about Adam Larson, but I really don't know what to think. I mean, it's a very sad story, but at the same time, I'm happy for him considering now that he's getting a fresh start with an expansion team. So in general, like I said, I'm really impressed by this defensive core that the Kraken assembled.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, without a doubt. Is there anything you guys want to say before we wrap up the show?
Not really. I would say, well, first, connection sucks, so I apologize to everybody for that. But I want to say, between this expansion draft and the Vegas expansion draft, I actually like this one more just because of the fact that there wasn't as much that we knew about up front. I mean, it was more of a surprise seeing everything and how everything unfolded. And I mean, I'll give it to Ron Francis. He nailed some of these picks right off the bat. I mean, there was
definitely
really good picks here.
Yeah.
And
to be honest with you, as much as I really liked this draft, I enjoyed it. It was really nice, and everyone got to see it on national television. I like the Vegas one better because I felt like the Vegas one had a lot of more bigger names. And it's not to say that this draft didn't have any. I mean, granted, they did. But, I mean, obviously, Yanni Gourde, Vince Dunn, Mark Giordano, Adam Larson, those guys that we've been talking about all night.
Right.
I felt like the Vegas one had more upside. They made trades during the expansion draft. And on top of all that, they took friggin' Marc-Andre Fleury, Jonathan Marchessault, Shea Theodore. They had a really stacked team, and they had a great coach in Gerard Gallant. So Vegas, and again, they went to the Stanley Cup Finals, and nobody thought they were going to do it. Nobody thought that they were going to be that good. So
right.
I'm not saying that Seattle will be just like Vegas, but depending on how they can collaborate, I think they would be a pretty solid playoff team.
Yeah, I
agree.
Yeah,
so that's for sure. That's my take. What about you, Sean? Do you have any comments?
Just one. Playoff bound, first season. Let's go Kraken.
All right.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. So with that said, I'm Buffalo Bob.
I'm Mr. Bubba Matt.
Of course,
That is Tom Wujek because his internet fucking sucks. But then again, let's welcome the Kraken into the NHL. You finally have a roster. You finally did a thing. Let's fucking go. So with that, Release the Kraken!
Hey guys, take care of yourselves. We'll see you.
Yes, sir.
Bye, guys.